Who's your guy? Oh, of course, our guy is none other than Oludipe David, but you know him as Who's Your Guy? Spiral. Yeah. Welcome to Rubbing Minds. Superstar, recording artist, performing artist. Yeah. That video we just watched, the remix featuring Tiwa Savage, has well over 200 million views on YouTube. Wow. Growing up, did you ever think like you're going to blow and be this big superstar?
Never. I mean, I'd always thought of myself to be a failure, in life. Growing up, I've always struggled with the fear of failure, until I met God, until I met Christ, and I started to find myself, and I started to see that God has a lot in stock for me. So I never ever thought that it could someday will come and I'll be who I am today. So yeah.
Wow. When I read about you, I see some of your interviews, one thing that has really inspired me is that you can be an artist, you can grow up in the church, you can sing from the church, and you don't need to hide that. You are unapologetically a Jesus boy. Yeah. Did you ever get pressure at any time to tone it down, or must you say it, or why not edit it out?
Till today, I still face that challenge. I still face, because a lot of people, it just pisses a lot of people up when you speak about Christ. And I find that really amazing, because you can talk about every other thing. People are out there on air, doing all sort of things, and people don't challenge them, people don't talk about it. But immediately you start to talk about Christ, you start to talk about faith, then people start to have issues with you, and it's quite perplexing for me. Like, it's just very strange.
Have you lost any opportunities, any deals? Have people turned you down?
Of course. I mean, I just concluded the campus store recently, and a lot of brands didn't even want to associate with, the Jesus boy brand, because, we don't want to go there, And I feel like that's the reason why our world is where it is right now, because we are trying to run a world without the creator. We are trying to run a world, a country, I mean, the world at large itself, outside the person that actually created it, and it's impossible. So there's definitely going to be chaos. When you start to, when you can't want to use an iPhone without, Apple guiding you through it. So
you can't do life without the maker of life.
Exactly. That's the point.
As I'm listening to you, I'm also wondering, from the Christian community, have you been fully received in terms of your music? Because you don't use profanity, but you're not a gospel musician. Do you get any pressure to be more Christ-like in your music? And also, I'm looking at you, I'm seeing an earring, I'm seeing jewelry, your nose ring, you have like an afro thing going on. I wonder if you've gotten criticized for your looks, not being Christian enough, for your music not being Christian enough, or if you've just been fully embraced by the body of Christ.
When I first blew up, it got me shaky at some point, because the major criticism I got was from Christians, and that shocked me, because I'm like, come on, we're supposed to be of the same family, why is it that the problem, my biggest problem so far, has been Christians? I don't even have issues with all that religions, but Christians say, oh, why will he dress like this? Oh, he's an hypocrite. Oh, is it this, is it that? And people asking question, why don't you just do gospel music? I'm like, God needs foot soldiers in every industry. The Christianity that we are talking about wouldn't have been possible without the help of a politician named Joseph of Arimathea. If Joseph of Arimathea had not requested for the body of Christ, on the cross. And he was able to request for it because he was a politician. He had access to Pilate. Peter, Jesus' disciple, could not access Pilate. So the body would have been, his legs would have been broken, which would have been against the prophecy, you know, and the scriptures would not have been fulfilled. But because Joseph of Arimathea was a politician and a secret disciple of Christ, he had access to Pilate, and he was able to save the whole Christendom, you know, just by being there at that time. And
you're taking us to church, maybe because it's a Sunday.
Yeah,
I want to say preacher. Now,
Yeah.
I want to move to some of your collaborations, because in the same vein that you're not doing gospel music, you're not also necessarily featuring gospel artists. For example, we just saw the video of Tiwa Savage. So how do you marry your faith with these kind of collaborations? And have you ever been challenged, or do you ever feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done this?
No, I don't think so. I'm an artist, but I'm a Christian artist. You know, you don't go to bank now and say, give me gospel money, give me Christian money. You know, you are not here now saying, oh, when they want to pay you money, or you go to the hospital, you say, I want a Christian doctor. You know, so I'm an Afrobeat artist, but I'm a Christian. You know, so I'm functioning in this space as a Christian, and I'm just really, really particular about my faith. You know, talk about my faith. It doesn't change anything about me being an Afrobeat artist. Yeah.
Now, your music, what's interesting, congratulations, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's off the market. So if you've been thinking Spyro is your guy, but it's not your guy that way. It's interesting that you had a song, Wife Material, and you recorded it several years ago, and the name Janet. And that's not a usual name when you hear, you know, love songs. Why the name Janet? And when did it occur to you that the Janet that was probably your girlfriend or your friend will end up becoming the Janet of your life, the wife material?
It wasn't even planned, to be honest, because I wrote the song 9 years ago, and I wasn't even thinking about, in fact, I've never met any Janet in my life before. So I just believe that our lives have been scripted. You know, so the reason why we run into troubles and we run into confusion is because we are not connected to the person that scripted the, you know, like I said earlier.
So are you saying it's God that gave you the name Janet and you just wrote this song?
Honestly, because, I mean, I must have been inspired by God. There are times I just wake up and then I get this inspiration from my dream and then I just write it down. You know, because fast forward to now, the same Janet that I sang about, everything I said in the song is exactly who the person that I'm getting married to is. You know, and I'm shocked. My folks are still kind of like shocked that how could you have known? You know, so I mean, if I even
how did you meet? Like, give us the full tea. Like,
yeah, so I mean, that's been kind of like trending, you know, because, oh, a Jesus boy, you met your...
Because I had you met in the club.
Yeah, so as an artist, I get invited to the club to go perform, you know. So on one of these days, I think I went on promotion rounds, and then I met her there. She was walking in the club, not going to the club. She wasn't in the club I think she was working as one of those people that serve. You know, I don't know, maybe ushers or something. She was working in the club at the particular time. And she didn't go there to go party. You know, she was there working.
So you also didn't go there to party, you went there to work, to promote?
I was there to also work, you know.
But did you think as a Jesus boy, like, your wife would be in the club, like,
never in my life. In fact,
it's not church that you should find her.
Immediately I saw her, something welled up in my spirit because I singled her out amidst a lot of people. Now I'm like, you know, I went there the first time. The second time I went to the place again because it was a promo round. I went there again and I could not take my eyes off her and I could not stop. I don't know, it was like a feeling in my spirit. So I told a PR friend of mine, Polash, please, can you help me call this person out? I want to have a word with this person. I just sat down in my car. I waited for about an hour because they said she wasn't going to leave until she was done working. So, I mean, she came, and I was like, why are you here? Because something just tells me, something feels off, that you're not supposed to be here. You look different. You look, you know, and she told me, you know, reasons why she had to work and, you know, help out to provide for the family, you know, after she had they lost their dad and all that. You know, I'm like, I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me now. And we connected. I'm like, well, would you like to work elsewhere? Because I'm intrigued and fascinated by women that work. She could have sat at home waiting for a guy to, because, I mean, she can do that and get free money from men, but she decided to work, and not just any type of work, a rigorous work that makes you stay up in the midnight. You know, I was impressed by that, you know, so.
And you could relate to where she's coming from,
exactly.
Having grown up in Mushin
exactly.
and not having as much, so you could understand where someone has to just do what they have to do to ensure they provide for their family. How much has that upbringing inspired and influenced the person you've become today?
Yeah, I think growing up from that background has actually influenced me a lot, because I can relate to every type of situation. You know, I'm more passionate, and I'm more I understand people better than I would have if I was born into wealth. Because I count myself to be nothing. Like, I'm a nobody. I just found grace because I was 2 years ago, or let's say 3 years, I was a nobody. Like, I had no penny to my name, you know, and I thought I was going to die broke. So growing up from that, you know, in that kind of place, and now having all I have today, just makes me know that anybody can be lifted by God. Do not look down on people also. You know, I have friends that are gate men. I have friends that sell pepe. I mean, I'm telling you, like, I literally have friends like that. You know, so I walk into the market today and I'm calling this person's name, I'm talking to this person, you know, so.
So the fame has not gotten to you in any way? Like, you still reconnect with these people? Do you still go back to Mushin? Do you still go back
Trust me, I was still there recently. Every time, I go back there to remind myself, do not forget where I mean, sometimes fame and money can make you just want to lose yourself. I mean, I was telling someone recently that there's some kind of money you have in your account and you start to want to feel like God, you know, but when you take yourself back and say that this is where you came from, it's not by my power, it's not by my mind, it's just God. You know, he humbles you. So every now and then I try as much as possible to go back, you know, and just see things for myself, that God that took me out of here, you know, it's not me, you know, which is why I respect people that, you know, put in work, you know, for ladies now especially. I love to see women. I've supported a lot of women without having anything to do, just supporting them when I see that they are struggling, you know, because it's harder. It's harder, yeah. I'm a twin, by the way. I have a twin sister, and I know how it was for her also struggling and trying to get to where she is today. It wasn't easy, you know, yeah, so.
Your journey and your rise to fame haven't been without controversies and challenges. You've had some very public fallouts, like with the likes of Polo, Yubi Franklin. And how do you manage to remain grounded? And, you know, it comes with a lot of backlash. Do you feel that in hindsight, maybe there are some things you shouldn't have said or done? Would you change anything?
Yeah, so I feel like there are things, we make mistakes, we're human beings though. So I've made couple of mistakes in my life. By the way, I don't have a fallout with Polo. Polo is my boss. You know, I was just saying some facts, you know, so people...
Okay, so don't fallout, you were just
It wasn't a fallout, I was just stating things that happened to me. Polo is a nice person. He took care of me as to the best of his knowledge.
So I guess what it says is to err is human, to forgive is divine. You have a new album coming out. We've seen some of the lovely visuals. I mean, it's always so beautiful when an artist is with their real life love interest.
Yeah.
So congrats on that.
Thank
Can you
you
tell
very
us what
much.
to expect in the new album?
The album is a fantastic body of work. It's different. You ain't seen anything like it before. It's called The Men, the Boys, and Your Guy. So I'm taking you on a journey to the past. I have the legends, the men that represents the men. I have the boys, the new cats, and I have myself, your guy. You know, so it's a three-course meal, and it's just watch out for it.
Any notable collaborations? On any plans to maybe go on tour? I'm going to see you play Dirty December, go around the world.
Yeah, I have a lot of collaborations in the album, you know. So like I said, it's divided into 3 sections: the men, the boys, and your guy. So it's only on my own section, which is about 6 songs or 7 songs, that I don't have collaborations. But on each song on the men's side, I have legends, packed with legends. You know, don't let me mention names.
Mention now, this Robbie Minds. Give us
don't let me mention names
scoop.
because the artwork is coming out soon. Okay. But think of the biggest legends that we listened to in the past, and then the new cats, the new generation artists that are doing well, and then my side. So I have a lot of collaborations, and after that I'll be touring, you know, African countries, and after that I'll be in Europe and America, and
Well, Nigerians will be able to afford tickets because, you know, there's this thing about superstar artists. Their prices go very high, and then Dirty December, they cannot do concerts again. Are you going to have...
I'm different. I would always be in touch with my people. I've always been in touch, and I'll continue to be in touch with my people.
And, you know, it's really inspiring that you're able to pull both the older generation and the younger generation. What do you think has made you stand out as an artist, that you can play both sides and you can command their respect to the point of your collaboration and being very open about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just get involved in people's lives, even when before fame, there are artists today that I invest in their career. A lot of people just call me, oh, I can't pay my rent, and I say, oh, this person is talented. How can I just do that? Because
and that has come through in this conversation of how you just help people.
Yeah.
And we want to wish you all the best with your new album, and congratulations on your engagement.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're
so
welcome.
Nice to be here.
It was a pleasure to have you on Robbie Minds.